So in football, depending on the league or competition / the standard of football, it can vary how many players each team is allowed to have in their squad. So, for instance, if you take a standard Premier League football match, each team starts with 11 players on the pitch, and they're allowed to take up to a maximum of 7 substitutes each, with 3 of those substitutes being allowed to be used within the game. And once a player comes off, they're not allowed to go back on. However, for non-elite football, quite often, to help develop players to get better, they're allowed to do rolling subs, which means that they're allowed to come on and off as many times as they want to within the match, as long as there's still the maximum of 11 players on the pitch at a time. The least amount of players that can be on the pitch within a team is 7, including the goalkeeper. Any less than 7, the game has to be forfeited and the other team will win. There are many different formations that are often used during football matches. Many of these can be useful in different ways, whether you need to defend or whether you need to attack. But the standard 4-4-2 formation consists of a goalkeeper, a left back in defence, 2 centre backs and a right back. Those 5 positions make up the back 5, and then you often have a left midfielder and a right midfielder, who are often running down the line to cross the ball in, 2 centre midfielders, and then you also have 2 strikers, which are the ones who are likely to be scoring the goals for the team. So in this scenario here, you see England player Frank Lampard shoot the ball towards goal, and the referee disallow a goal for the whole ball not being over the goal line. However, when the highlights are shown, it does actually show that the whole ball was over the line, which means that it should have counted as a goal, as the rule states that the whole ball must be over the goal line for it to count. As you can clearly see, the whole ball is across the goal line, so therefore it was a fair goal and should not have been disallowed by the referee. This was a poor decision. My second situation in netball, the wing defence appears to cross their line and enter the wrong part of their field of play. So a free throw is awarded, or free pass is awarded to the opposing team. The rules in netball state that each player must stay in a designated zone, otherwise free passes will be awarded to the opposing team. And as the wing defence actually moved out of their designated area, they were therefore offside. This meant that the umpires quickly stopped play and awarded the opposing team with a free pass. However, if the wing defence would have stayed in their designated area, then play would have been allowed to continue, and they would not have been penalised for infringing the laws of the game. Finally, my third situation in netball shows that a goal shooter was preparing to shoot the ball in an attempt to score a goal for their team, and the goalkeeper on the defending team actually stopped her from doing so, but as she did so, she committed a foul, as she made contact with the player, which is not allowed in netball, as a player is about to shoot. So this meant that a free shot was awarded. This was a good decision by the umpires, and the goalkeeper had to move aside to allow the goal shooter to finish her attempt of shooting. However, if the goalkeeper was stood there, not actually making contact with the goal shooter, this meant that the goal shooter must have carried on play, and no foul was committed, so therefore play could have continued without the umpires stopping the game to award a free shot to the attacking team and to allow the goal shooter to have a free attempt at scoring a goal for their team.